Dinosaur Jr. Are an American rock band from Massachusetts. They were formed in 1984 as Dinosaur and changed their name in 1987, which lasted until, as a band, they then lasted until 1997, and they were back again in 2005, and they're still going. They're centered around Jay Maskis, who is their singer, guitarist, and main songwriter. They've had a small turnover of members and have released 12 albums. 40 years on down the line, I'm of the opinion they probably should be called Dinosaur Sr. by now. Hi, my name's Dan. So this was the fifth official studio album by Dinosaur Jr. And it's my first time listening to this album, and I'm not sure if I've heard stuff by them before. I've heard of them, but I don't know much about them, or didn't before I listened to this album and did some reading about them. So I would describe them as grungy indie slash alt rock. And it owes something to a lot of the indie rock that has this, what I call the big guitar curtain, which is where you get the rhythm guitar and you make a great big chord and you kind of leave that in the background and you don't go chug, 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 you just go, and then when you change your chord, and then so it gives you this kind of full background of guitar. But the thing that's maybe a different from some alt rock is how loose it feels, and it's a very loose feel to the music here. There's some decent guitar work, but the music I would say is quite generic. It doesn't stand out from the rest of the indie rock or alt rock world much, I would say. But there's some nice bits of lead guitar work occasionally. It has a kind of, I think if there's a difference to their feel, it's a feel of being unfettered, as if they're not really feeling bound by possibly the strictures of music, but I don't know. It's occasionally very heavy and occasionally more kind of, I would say, Guns N' Rosy, Rosy-Z. The singing, so I have seen stuff when I read that is described his voice as nasal. I can kind of see that. I think I would describe it as whiny. It's got a little bit of a burr to it and a kind of emo, like he's having a hard time dealing with life. He's got a good range to his voice, but he's got not great accuracy. But it kind of fits with the looseness of the rest of the music. When he sings higher, it's got less of that burr to it, but it's still a bit on the kind of whiny side, I would say. Mostly the songs are so the songs fit this idea of things not being great. It's mostly about how bad his life is going or how bad somebody's life is going. It could be that it's very personal and very honest, or it could be it's very observational. I don't actually know. It's mostly about relationships. So the music didn't win me over. The vocals put me off, definitely. I didn't really get engaged with it, and I felt actually at times mildly irritated by it. There were occasional points, which are usual points of guitar work, where I went, "Oh yeah, actually that bit's okay," but mostly I wasn't in a hurry to get it off, but I'm certainly not in a hurry to get it back and listen to it again. So it might appeal to fans of indie, particularly, and alt rock. It's kind of, in some ways, I think, verging on emo, just in how emotional his vocals are, and possibly verging on shoegaze, although I'm not sure what the boundaries of all these things are. So I wasn't a great fan. As always, I'd love to hear from you, so please do leave a comment, especially if you're a person who loves this album. I'd love to know what it is that you love about this album. And that's not me being facetious, that means I've missed something, because none of these albums are on this list by accident. They've all got something that some critics really enjoyed about this album. And if you're a person who really enjoys this, I'd love to know what it is you enjoy about the album. So please do share. And that's it from me for now.
On this day